you doing today? I'm Paulie.
I'm Austin.
And today we're talking with Dr. Bill at Cryokinesis. Great guy. How you doing today?
I'm doing very, very well, gentlemen. How are you guys doing?
Good. So kind of tell us about what are you doing here? How are you bringing it into the world? What are you doing?
Cryokinesis is a non-invasive wellness therapy practice. We practice different non-invasive modalities that help to accelerate healing. So everything we do is to help the cells in the body do their job a little bit better. We use both light, sound, and we use red light therapy. All of those different modalities will help the cells, repopulate and repurpose.
Perfect. Yeah, I think it's huge nowadays too, with how people I think are moving towards the holistic way and like these sort of ways of taking care of the body. I think it's gonna be a big jump in how people view it and where it lies in that patient care lineup.
Absolutely. Our motto is no pills, no pokes, no surgery. We are here to give those patients, athletes, anyone that's interested in the possibility of learning more about cellular health, because we're made up of trillions of cells.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can help your cells do their job better, then you become a healthier person.
Yeah.
Sure. How long have you been in this field on doing cryokinesis?
Cryokinesis is going on 5 years, and I developed a treatment that helps with accelerated healing using, vibroacoustic sound therapy and using cryotherapy and red light therapy. I do a lot of therapeutic kinesiotaping as well to help with the area by stabilizing the area, if it's a knee or an arch. Ideally, I have a treatment that helps with plantar fasciitis, patellotendinitis, people who come in who are dealing with, post-surgery or post-PT as well. So 5 years in, and we're pretty active in the community right now with Saginaw Valley State University. We are in internships for Saginaw Valley State University through the kinesiology exercise science department as well.
Phenomenal. Always good working with you. So now, in the class that we're in, we've really hit on the topic of exercise as medicine, and it's the organization that we think in our classes needs to be put into the world more. So exercise is medicine, as in you work out, you move your body, you keep your body at a stable, functional, neutral state, that it's only going to benefit you. And maybe not everyone does this because they might not have the knowledge, or is it in the want. So I don't know if you have any take on exercise medicine.
I think exercise is medicine. Motion itself is medicine. I think keeping people in a motion. People don't always have to exercise, but exercising or, collectively putting together a different type of exercise program that people can do, it will prolong life. Those studies are there. Motion, I like to say, let's keep the body in motion. Whichever way, if it's riding a bike or if it's, going for a walk or running or kayaking, ideally you want to have some type of, active movement in your life itself.
Yeah.
I think people have conditioned themselves over the years. They have, relied on traditional medicine. There's a pill for the ill, and there's always, they want to call themselves the quick fix.
Yeah.
But, pharmaceutical medicine has its place, and I don't downplay it, but I'm saying that there's other options that people are now starting to see, because the society is so heavily medicated right now, and we just want to give people the option to have where they can come here. You don't necessarily even have to, you don't have to go to your primary doctor to say, oh, well, I've been dealing with this. You can come here to Cryokinesis. I can sit and talk with you and talk to you about just some of the non-invasive things that we do.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So, when you practice what you preach, do you exercise often, and do you use these modalities for yourself?
Every single day. This is my medicine, and for me to exercise, I went out on my run this morning, and for me, I'm a former collegiate track athlete, Central Michigan University, fire up chips, and so me being in the field of being an athlete myself, I'm still kind of what we call a weekend warrior athlete, or weekly athlete. I like to keep my body in motion. I do cryotherapy chamber every single day. at least 5 days a week. I use red light therapy, vibration therapy. Every first 5 days of the month, I go on a liquid water and juice fast. It is to help reset my body itself. I think a lot of times in this day and society, nutrition is very huge as well. We can all exercise, but what do you put in your body to fuel it? To help your body, heal itself nutritionally. And for me, I think we eat too much. So I'm a 1 meal a day type of person. The rest of it's going to be hydration and different minerals that our body kind of lacks throughout the day.
Yeah, I mean, I 100% agree that nutrition's bigger than the actual exercise part.
Oh, yes.
It's just like, in college sports, you're with your strength coach more than you're with your position coach.
Yeah.
You gotta, nutrition, you gotta do
You're
one
right.
to get both. But
Absolutely.
I think that's big, and I think I don't know your take, but I think more functional movements is what we need, is more to, instead of not these non-conventional, but that we've made conventional lifts that are so, and they have been they're in the history of strength training and all that, and that's how it's been brought up. But I just think the functional and the movement part, like you hit on, I think is way better. Just connecting the body to working one group at a time.
Yeah, and as you guys are, being in the field of kinesiology and as a kinesiotherapist, it's the kinetic chain, it starts at your base, from your base to your head, from your head to your base. Getting everything to work and respond to one another. That's what it's about. It's the domino effect of allowing your body to move in forward motion. So everything is connected. We know this, both in the physical, the neurological, aspects. So the motion itself that you do, as far as going to walk, shooting some basketball, playing tennis, that's what it's all about. Pickleball is huge now.
Huge.
That generation out there, and that's not just the older generation, but they've taken upon it themselves to make it their sport.
They have.
So I can't whoop nobody that's over 60 for pickleball, so.
They show you every time.
Yes, they do.
They show you every time.
Do you think there's enough information in the general health field that exercise is important compared to taking pills?
I think there's a lot of information out there. It's not always presented for us. I think now and today, people don't read enough because they have so much access to, internet, and it can be very, consuming. If you look something up and you get all this information, once you look one thing up on your phone, then a lot of things come up on your phone. Where books itself are a little bit different. I'm a heavy reader. I love to read, and my generation is different. You all have a lot of access to a lot of things. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're always going to seek those things with the access that you have. I think people just don't have the mindset to want to seek more because it requires a little bit more work.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. Now hitting on that, now how do you get some of these people that come in here or want to learn about it or they don't support it. They don't think it works as well as the medicine. Now, how do you present what you do to someone who is a non-believer in it, who doesn't think that it works?
It's about education. My goal is always to educate. And if you look up a real true definition of what a doctor really is, a doctor is a teacher, and it's to teach so you can learn. But first and foremost, you have to break things down in a fundamental way so people can actually understand and absorb it. Sometimes in the medical field, we can make things very complicated. And that complexity of it sometimes will not hold that person's attention, so they don't have the ability to want to absorb it enough to where they want to understand it.
One last question. What is your why? What is your why to doing all this, turning this into what you've turned it into, becoming the organization, the company you want to become? What is the why from the start?
I learned years ago, being a former athlete, is that there's places where you can train. They train. But where is it where you can actually go to recover? There's no recovery places. There's no places where you can actually go and say, all right, my mental instability is a little bit off. So we use vibroacoustic sound therapy. We use different frequencies to help you get to a meditative state of relaxation. So my why was to figure out, all right, the things that I was going through as a collegiate athlete, when I became hurt or sidelined, I couldn't run, there was no place where you could actually go and restore yourself. It's hard being a student athlete sometimes. And I know that the imbalances that comes along with that. You want to be able to perform both in the classroom but outside the classroom, especially if you're on a scholarship.
Yeah.
You're performing and all your coaches are watching you. My why was to bring a place that was available for anyone or any athlete or any person to come to restore themselves. It was necessary. I know that it has a purpose. It's that people have to figure out how to wrap their minds around it, because it's not evasive. It's not your traditional things that they already know about. Remember, generation to generation, from medical professional to medical professional, they're training them. The new doctors, even though they're going to know more information or different information because medicine's always evolving, it's still the same system. My goal is to not to think within the box of the system, but think outside the system, giving people the understanding that there are other options that are available. And so my why is started with me, years ago, filling a gap that is necessary. There is no recovery places. Physical therapy is physical therapy. It's rehabilitation therapy. This is recovery therapy. This is where anyone can walk in off the street and they want to recover and restore themselves. Here we are. So
Yeah. It's everyone.
yeah, everyone. This is for everyone.
Yeah.
Age, gender. Our oldest, client, patient have come through has been 9. Our oldest has been 81. And it's all non-invasive. So it's not to hurt the body, it's to actually activate the body and turn some switches back on. So we all need it to a certain degree.
100% agree. Well, that was a great conversation. Thank you for talking with us.
I appreciate it, Paul.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, Paul.
Always.
Appreciate it. Thank you guys for, coming in and want to know a little bit more about, cryokinesis.